Sorry, I didn't have my music queued up.
From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we live on a Monday today, or Tuesday, sorry. We're going to be doing a show today, and then we're going to be doing a show on Thursday, and then next week we're going to be doing some other shows with some really interesting people. I know Rich is probably like, what the hell? I thought we weren't doing a show on Thursday, but we are now. So there you go. Stuff changes, and yeah, Rich, I see Rich shaking it. Rich usually schedules. This week I scheduled, and next week I scheduled too for some reason, a little bit. A couple shows, but let's go ahead and bring on the flying one himself, Flying Rich. How you doing?
Good, Crump. Good. Yeah, you got your daddy duties done. I got my doggy daddy duties done before the show.
No, they're not done.
They're not done.
Yes,
they're never done.
No, I got to finish up homework and everything.
All right, so we'll have to talk after the show. You have to tell me what's going on Thursday.
Yeah, Luis.
Okay.
The Daytona thing.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going to be revisiting the Daytona thing here. But let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring on Delegate AC Cardoza of Virginia, who happens to like guns and is a delegate from Virginia, which is really cool because that affects me directly.
Well, I think the question is, how much do you like guns? Do you like 50 caliber? Is that?
I love 50 caliber. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. But I love 50 cal, 40, 45. Actually, I just got a new 45 double stack, 2011. So I am.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Say again.
Which one did you get?
I got the Para Ordnance P1445.
Oh, that's actually supposed to be really, really nice.
Oh yes, yeah, it is a sweet gun. I'm very happy, but I'm a big caliber guy, and small caliber guy. I got a couple AR-15s, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I the scary AR-15.
I know.
I got a couple AR-15s, right? Rich seeing partial my partial collecting of my AR-15s, and I got a couple, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, just one or two.
Less than hundreds, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a lot of AR-15s. I don't know how many I have.
I don't know how many I have, but I'm not on Crump level. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I got another one coming in soon. I got to get with Kyle and arrange that. But yeah. But it's gonna be
cool. It's funny because you have people come on and they're like, "Oh, they like guns," but that's like they have nearly no knowledge after that. So, kudos.
I don't own a 2011, but I want to get one.
I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be one of those guests. I have the full gambit of guns. I'm a big gun guy, and not just I don't like just my handgun or shotguns. I'm one of the big scary rifle guys. AKs, ARs.
Cool.
I have a MP5 AR hybrid. I think you saw it at the show with suppressor integrated. I'm big. This is my issue.
Cool.
Kirsty Patel says we're rolling with the delegate at Goals Range Day, and the first thing he asks if he's allowed to bring his own AR because it's in his trunk. He's our people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and we got Kyle Wade from Anderson Manufacturing. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Kyle at the GOA Goals booth there.
He was in the Anderson booth at GOA.
Anderson booth, yeah. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I met him. I'm pretty sure I shook his hand and told him that my first rifle named Mr. Anderson because it was an Anderson. It is an Anderson. I still have it. I had Mr. carved right in front of Anderson. I call it Neo. And so that's my main AR, my super hyped up one. So I shook his hand and said, thanks for putting it out. That's my baby.
Oh, cool. If you looked, actually, we had some celebrity guns guesting in the Anderson booth. So Stephen Watts, he's Frag Out Designs. He does all the laser artwork. So if you looked at the right wall, there were a couple of guns. One actually was mine. There was a gold one there that was mine. So they're on display.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Anderson's cool. I've been having a lot of fun since I finally got to connect with Kyle, and we've been doing some interesting stuff.
All right.
So so basically what you're saying is you like the Matrix then?
I'm a big fan of the Matrix. There's a lot of parallels in real life to the Matrix, especially if you're a conservative and you like to see things and you like truth. You're the Matrix is the red pill, blue pill thing is very, very important.
And that is definitely important here, especially the red pill, blue pill thing. Just because, they try to, I don't know what to say. They try to blue pill us a lot by trying to make us think what is going on isn't actually going on when it is going on.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Makes perfect sense to me.
So did you see the original Matrix or did you see it later in life?
Oh no, I saw it in theaters. I saw it originally. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw the original Matrix. It was really interesting because honestly, I didn't know anything about it. And we're like, oh, let's go see this movie, The Matrix, because it's the only thing that was playing. And it was phenomenal. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Mm-hmm. And I loved it.
It's funny. The Matrix was good from the get-go. The original Terminator was like kind of a B- movie. And then T2 killed it.
Yes, it did. Kind of like Aliens and Alien. Like Alien was a good B.
Yeah.
And
Aliens.
Ooh.
That was
a story.
Darn right. Wow, you know your sci-fi too, huh?
Big sci-fi guy. Actually, my chief of staff has gotten me into Battlestar Galactica.
And the remake?
One of the new one.
The remake.
All right, just making because two different.
I never saw the original. I'm at the remake, and it is.
I mean, I was 11 years old. Was it 76 or 77 when the original came out? I think it was 2 seasons or like a season and a half. And I was eating that stuff up. Like we're talking pre-show. I like the original Trek, and even though the acting was like on the college or high school performances were better than Star Trek, the original Star Trek.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean that was like to see sci-fi was a big deal in the 70s. So yeah, the second Battlestar Galactica, the remake, oh my gosh, that was so good.
Until the very end when it got really weird.
Oh, don't tell me I'm not there. I'm not at the end yet. I got like 3 more episodes left.
All right, Johnny 3-Bar. Space 1999 is almost unwatchable. There's episodes on YouTube. Oof. I was like digging that as a kid. And
Space 1999?
Yeah. That's so they're using the moon for nuclear waste, and there was an accident and it launched the moon out of Earth orbit. So basically, it was like Voyager, but with the moon.
That sounds. That's. I gotta check that out.
So I'm gonna cut on the delegates' sci-fi favorites, the Star Trek favorites. I always considered DS9 to be like Love Boat, which I don't know if you would know that because you're probably younger, and Voyager to be like Gilligan's Island.
I like, dude, Voyager was the best. And people are like, we turned in for guns, and now we're talking about sci-fi.
So now we need to talk about sci-fi guns.
Hey, yeah. I got a FN. I had a P90. I have a FN-57, which we know Battlestar Galactica. That's their handgun.
Oh yeah, I'm a bit of a bullpup nut job. So if it's a bullpup, I probably own it.
Rich loves like anything 5.7. Rich loves.
Yeah, and I have most of them.
Yeah, so let's get into a little bit of how did you get into guns? Now that we hit the sci-fi thing for 11 minutes, and people are like, "What the hell? This is a gun show. What are we talking about?"
Well, when I was first of all, I'll go back when I was really young. I used to go and play out in the yard with my neighbors with the fake guns and water guns, and I had all camo and all that stuff, right? And my mom, I always told my mom, yeah, when I grow up, I'm gonna get guns. And she looked at me and she was like, well, you're not getting no guns. I don't know what you're talking about, right? And so I turned 18, and this was back when Virginia's laws weren't super screwed up. I went at a yard sale right across the street. He still has his yard sale to this day, by the way. Every couple of months is right there. I don't know what kind of storage he has, but I had this garbage, one single barrel, not double barrel, single barrel shotgun that he had there that he was selling at his yard sale for $50. And I was like, immediately, I was like, hey, $50, boom, you got it, right? And so I brought it home. He had two guns there, and I wouldn't go get both. But the first one I got was a single barrel garbage 12 gauge shotgun, right? And I got it, and I brought it home. Mom was like, what in the world? What is this? You bringing a gun in my house? I'm like, yeah, I told you I was going to get guns when I grew up. So, and I went back, and there was another 22, a Filipino M1600 22. Right, no magazine with it. It was. These are the most two garbage guns you have ever seen in your life, right? But they were mine. So I went and I got them. I spray painted them. I fixed it up and tightened everything and got it working. And from then on, it was just go time. And this was before I even joined the military, right? And I joined the military. It was a wrap. As soon as I got out, as soon as I got back home, first thing I went and did was bought my Anderson AR-15, and I put it together custom with all the parts that we don't really need, but I wanted anyway because I just got out of the military and I was going to get the best one, and so that's what I did. And that was 35 guns later. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many guns I have actually.
Dude, you ordered 35 guns in one day.
That is true.
So what was going on is one of our viewers, they got a visit because they bought like 3 guns at a gun show. So the ATF came knocking on their door, and they basically told the ATF, get off my property. And it's like, you don't have a warrant, you need to leave. And they told him to go. So John decided he was going to, bait the ATF, and you bought, was it 26 barkeeps in a day?
Yeah, well, we got 26 barkeeps shipped to my house. Not to my house, but to different FFLs just to see if they would come. I got boxes of these.
Did the ATF take the bait?
No.
Darn.
They know.
They know. They probably saw. They have a non-contact order with me.
So John, one day he texts me a number. He's like, "Do me a favor, call this number." I called the number. It's an ATF office. I hang up, and I'm like, John, what the hell? He's like, oh, they blocked my number. I was just wondering if you could get through.
Are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to block a citizen's number?
Well, I don't know. They wouldn't allow me in their building either.
It's terrible.
I was supposed to go to this meeting at the ATF building down in DC, and I was notified I was not welcome.
Wow.
Not allowed in the building.
Was that with GOA or?
No, I was with another organization.
That sounds like a lawsuit to me. I don't think they're allowed to do that. As elected officials, any government agency, I don't think you're allowed to block out.
Well, there was a about that, and originally they said you weren't, but then it was changed.
Wow, that's terrible.
So now
I won't block you. You're always allowed in my office.
All right. Well, that's good.
With your AR, bring your ARs.
Oh, that works. I'm trying to bring up the video to show the delegate about our SHOT Show adventure.
Oh, you're at SHOT Show also?
No, our SHOT Show adventure.
I didn't get to go.
The ATF booth?
Say again?
We got kicked out of the ATF booth. Well, they went to us.
The ATF has a booth at SHOT Show?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But apparently they don't like me too much.
Why would they have a booth at SHOT Show? They know everyone hates them, right?
The year before, it was a smaller booth the year before, and so that's 2023, January 23, and it was like one guy, kind of like a big Southern temperament, friendly guy. And I was like, oh, okay, I see they're trying to put a smiley face on their PR aspect. This year, no, they weren't taking any crap. It was kind of funny. Tim Hoffman, I would say he's a kid. He's probably 20-something. I don't know his actual age, but I did visit him on our way home from Knoxville. And he's brilliant. He designed an FRT trigger, force reset trigger, with 2 parts, and you can 3D print it. So he went over to the booth, and they knew who he was. They've been watching his videos. His family's been living off grid for more than 20 years, and Tim's famous for like shooting on his property barefoot. He's always barefoot. And he walks up to the ATF booth. They're like, "Oh, Tim, wearing shoes today." It's like, whoa. Like they did their homework. They knew who he was. So the 3D print guys do like to go by and harass the ATF about dumb stuff during the show. So that's
Well, I'm glad they're there so they can receive it. They need to hear it.
Well, I always say the ATF is like motor vehicles hating cars and hating you driving. It shouldn't be that way. They should be there just to make sure everything goes well and the right people, and I don't want to say the right people drive or whatever, or the right people have guns, because my belief is if you're a felon and they let you out of jail, you're safe enough to be in society, and you should have whatever rights and privileges everybody else does.
I'll tell you this. I feel like if it's not a violent crime, if you went to jail for insider trading, what in the world does that have to do with your firearms rights?
Right.
If you went to jail for drunk driving, killing people, or injuring people, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to drink. You shouldn't be allowed to drink anymore. Or get behind the wheel of a car. That's what your crime involved. But if you went to a 7-Eleven and put a bunch of snacks in your pocket and get caught, what does that have to do with your gun rights?
I think they look for any reason to take away guns.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, I'm going to show you something, and I want to get your opinion on it, AC. But just bear with me for 1 second. I had to find it. Let me just do this. Already knows what it is.
So, how's the ATF going for you guys? I'm not talking. Like, we don't have to talk. That's fine. You're not going to talk? All right.
Wow.
So there was another funny incident. What was the gun show in Virginia there?
That was the Capitol Gun Show.
The Capitol Gun Show. John goes over to
the Gun Show.
John goes to the ATF booth, and he's talking with them. Then finally, they ask who he is, and he says John Crump. They're like, "We can't talk to you," and they got up and left.
And I have a picture of me standing behind the ATF booth with a 80% firearm.
Wow, that's wild. Hey, if you can get on that list, more power to you. You're a hero. You get them that mad, they run away. We need more of you in every state so they can leave the states, like leave the country.
That's my goal. So, what is the greatest danger to 2A in Virginia right now?
Democrats. But besides them directly, really, I mean, they showed their hand this year. They did every gun control thing you could think of. They pushed through. I don't know if they just forgot we had a governor, or if they thought that maybe he would like be willing to give them some of their crazy gun control stuff for I don't know what in the world you think our governor is going to do. The guy whose lieutenant governor has a campaign ad with AR-15s. You would think they would know better, but they said, yeah, let's just show our hand and show Virginia exactly what we want to do. And I think they think they're not going to pay for it. But if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to make sure that these bills are on every ad for every Democrat, because every last one of them voted for it. And so, just everything you can think of. They tried to make, drunk driving. They tried to make it where that became where you could take your gun rights away. Like some misdemeanor driving drunk or boating drunk, something like that. It was something just asinine. And I'm like, what in the world does this have to do with a gun? There's no gun involved in this situation. But, if they can't drive a boat with alcohol, they can't own a gun or something. I'm like, this is nonsense. It was a misdemeanor. They wanted to make this misdemeanor where you can take your guns away. And I'm like, what is this nonsense? This is craziness. They're just looking for any reason to get rid of any gun. And if that didn't work, then all of a sudden, since that's not going to work, we're going to do this for safety. It's not about safety. They don't care about safety.
Yeah, Democrats, I think the plan on their side is two things. One, they know they're never going to get that passed. Even if it got to the governor's desk, the governor's going to veto it. But I think, one, it's a campaign issue that I propose these 6 new laws, vote for me, and that's what they're going to be running on. And two, it burns up your time to do Republican or conservative things.
Yeah,
I can tell you right now, when they're in control, we don't get anything. They let us know we got 3 bills. Of all of us Republicans, we get 3 bills that they will basically consider. They won't immediately kill because they're in charge and they can. So which is wild, but that's what it is. That being said, this is the stuff they really want. One thing I have to say about Democrats, if they get in power, they keep their campaign promises. Like they know if they ever got all 3, they will make every gun they possibly can without a challenge, a chance of getting challenged constitutionally, and they'll do it even if they get challenged constitutionally. But they write bills under bills to make it so that if this bigger bill gets challenged and defeated constitutionally, this law will not come into effect, and they can still grab guns. They're excellent strategists, especially delegates like Delegate Simon. Delegate Simon is a superb anti-2H strategist. And if he's given any ability to do anything, he is going to absolutely decimate the Second Amendment. And that's his goal. Wow. They say that's not their goal. We just want safety. That's nonsense. That is a
They're
lie.
not coming
They're
for our
lying.
guns.
You know, they hate guns. They hate civilians owning guns. They don't even want the Capitol Police to have guns when they're not on duty. And they're police, the police that
That's
protect
crazy.
them. You know, we had a bill saying, hey, you know, as soon as these guys get off, they're technically breaking a law by being here. If you don't, can we just adjust this? They're like, nope, nope, we don't want them. We don't want them to have guns. And they're the people protecting them directly. They think guns are like cancer. I think they think guns are cigarettes, and it's like them being around any population is cancerous. I don't know what's in their head.
I think they think the guns are like the ring from the Lord of the Rings, where if you put it on, it will corrupt you. So if you own a gun, it corrupts you somehow. That's just my theory of what they think.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, that's what they're about. They're really crazy with that. And we just got to stop them. We got to make sure they do not ever, ever get all three. Ever.
Yeah. Youngkin's been pretty good on guns. He's kept his promises to veto any gun control and stuff like that. So that's really good. We have a few questions here. One, like, do you carry in session?
I'll say this: it is not legal anymore for us to carry in session.
All right. I won't press you any harder than that. Are you a member of any caucuses directly related to safety or gun rights?
We don't have any except for what's it called? Not woodland, hunting, something like that. Sportsmen's. The Sportsmith Caucus is what we have. They have a very tight control over what they announce as a caucus, you know. So they don't have a 2A caucus. I would love to start a 2A caucus. In fact, our good friend Richard Heller suggested that we start a 2A caucus, which I'm thinking about trying to do, but they're going to try and shut it down real hard because they hate the Second Amendment. I do carry in public. Absolutely.
What type of what do you carry?
So when I'm concealed carrying, I usually do my P365. That's what I have on me now. When I'm open carrying, I like to have everything. I kind of just go with whatever goes with my outfit at the time. You know, it could be the 5.7 if I'm wearing something khaki. If I really want to show off, I'm gonna pop out that 2011 when I'm open carrying. But mainly my main day to day is pretty much my P365.
Yeah, I carry a Glock 43X because I'm not a woman. I always give Rich a hard time because he carries a P365.
Hey, I love it. It's so compact. I'm in my suit. You can't tell. It's perfect. Like you don't even feel it. But when it's time, it does the job. You know. So I love it. I love my P365.
I've been carrying the 365 for years. I carried LCP2 if I'm wearing like a suit or slacks or something like that. I need to carry concealed. I'm actually the Florida plaintiff in the GOA case for open carry. So someday in the future, I hope to be able to open carry a full-size gun. That would be wonderful.
What's up? Yeah. One good thing about Virginia that hasn't got killed yet.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it will. I mean, I do not think it. I think open carry laws are ripe to be taken down, and I think states know that. So I don't see any state trying to impose an open carry ban because they're probably going to start getting turned over here, and that's just not my opinion. That's a lot of people's opinion on both sides. That open carry is doomed to go down in flames. In fact, there's only a few different states that ban open carry. Florida is one of them.
Yeah, Florida, New York, California, and Hawaii. So Florida's one of 4 states in the country that actually prohibit open carry.
Wow.
Which, yeah, Florida's got some weird laws. After the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting, they rushed through this law. So bundled into this, I don't know if it was like a 150-page law, was red flag laws, but also they say you can't have an enhanced trigger in Florida. So pretty much a lot of people, nobody's been prosecuted on this, so this hasn't been tested. But basically, if I took my PSA or Anderson that I got fully built and put like a Geisley trigger in it, I would be violating the law. Forget about a binary or FRT.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm glad we don't have that here, even though they want to get rid of that here too.
And the crazy thing in my mind is, how do you enforce that? How would you know? Does the cop come over and like do the trigger pull on my AR-15 and say, "Oh, wait a second, did you bust out the Dremel on that? What'd you do?"
I don't think that anyone has been prosecuted for it.
No, that hasn't been tested. So
I think they're hoping, or a lot of people say that they work with these prosecutors, and I've seen a lot of the prosecutors union, basically, or association lobbyists. They will introduce these laws, these bills, right? And their main focus is they want to get extra charges on people. Like if it's a misdemeanor, a misdemeanor with a gun involved, they know, look, you can only take a gun away for 5 years. Let's see if we can. Let's examine the gun, see what we can find. Oh, trigger. Let's throw them. Let's throw them now as a felony. Now we can get their gun rights forever.
Yeah,
that's what they want to do.
Yeah, like add-on charges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but crazy.
But I don't think anyone in Florida, no one's been hit with an add-on charge either. It just exists and they can do it. And that's the scary part. Well, you can say, well, they've never prosecuted anyone, so I'm going to put a Geisley trigger in my AR or whatnot. But you never know. You don't want to be the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. MC says it's straight up intimidating the public through fear of tactics.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. It's Big Brother.
Yeah, well, the reason why they don't prosecute anyone, because it is fear. And then if they get sued, they can say that, we've never prosecuted anyone. We never threatened to prosecute anyone under this law, even though it's on the book. So therefore, there's not a credible threat of enforcement. And then they can try to moot the case, or actually not moot the case, but what they try to do is they try to get it thrown out by you have to have a credible threat of enforcement. So by them not threatening that, they try to get it thrown out by saying you have lack of standing because there's no credible threat of enforcement, even though the law's on the books.
Didn't they try and pull that with the what's it called? The Texas suppressor law? They tried to pull that. Oh, it's moot because the state can't have standing on behalf of the citizens or something like that. They
did get it right. I mean, they did get that through with the Texas. Texas lost on that case because their federal law preempts state law, so they lost that. But yeah, they did try that. They've actually won on that argument when a few different cases around the country. For example, Texas versus ETF, which dealt with like pistol braces. GOA joined up with them, so GOA members were enjoined from the ATF enforcing that, but now everyone is. But then they limited it to representatives of Texas and Texas employees. They said you can't do a whole entire injunction for the citizens of Texas. So that happened. So that, and this might not be popular, but it might be the right call because of the way it's written. Not the regulation, but the whole all the case law on it. But who knows? You can make an argument either way. So I'm not going to
Okay.
fault the judge from stating that when he issued an injunction. But now the pistol breaks thing is dead nationwide for now, unless the Supreme Court takes it up.
Yeah, I feel like when you look at the Second Amendment, the people, when it says the people, I think that should carry the people of the citizens. It's not just employees. You know what I mean? So I feel like when we had oh man, no, why is my brain Bruin? When we had Bruin, they should have put in that language to kind of make it the people is the citizens, so there's no ambiguity there. That's a really big.
Well, they did. They defined the citizen as the political class, which means everyone over the age of 18. If you want to get it, because as long as you have the right to vote, you have the right to other stuff.
Yeah, Judge Thomas is brilliant. I mean, he is like what a brain trust, and always impressed with his opinion, whether it's a majority opinion or dissenting opinion. It's always incredibly well written.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to see them to expand the people to say that means everyone. But right now, that's what we have: the political class. Anyone who is of legal authority to vote is part of the people.
If you're asking me, this is the thing. I know so many people who go in the military at 17 with their parents' permission. They still can't vote. They can't own a gun in a lot of states. They can't drink, but they can get their leg blown off.
Oh yeah,
and that doesn't make sense because what is basic? Basic is what, 8 weeks? I was in the Air Force. It was 8.5 weeks, and then another 2 weeks for any other training. So you in 4 months, 5 months, you're still technically 17. You can get your leg blown off and be in a bar, and they say, "Well, sorry, you got your leg blown off for your country, but you can't have a drink, and also you can't go buy a gun to protect yourself."
Right.
And that doesn't make sense to me. There needs to be some kind of standards for that, but that's a whole nother can of worms there.
Yeah, I do want to get into why you chose to get involved in politics, though.
Well, I will say this. So let me go back. I did not have any plan of going in politics. I'm not a politician. I don't feel like I'm a very polished person at all. I was just a regular shipyard worker. I was heading to a gun show, and I was running a little late. Got there, the line was out the door. Like it was terrible. It's the Hampton Gun Show, SGK Gun Show. And so I walked in, saw this line, and it was a VCDL table right there. And they said, "Hey, you trying to get in?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just need to get in, grab a piece from my AR, in and out." And he's like, "Hey, give me $5 more, and that's how much it cost back then, just $5 extra. $5 more in your ticket, and give me your email and your name real quick, and I'll give you." He had a roll of tickets. I'm like, "Here, done." Put my email down, got my ticket, went in, right? Couple months later, I'm coming home from work. I see the email from VCDL, says, "Hey, come on out and speak. We're doing the Second Amendment sanctuary thing in the city council." If everybody remember that time, I said, "Okay, cool. I'll come." I'm thinking it's gonna be 20 people. It's Hampton. You go to a Hampton Walmart, not now, but back then, 2019. At night it's a gun show. Everyone's at their guns out. This is Hampton. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be no problem. It's gonna go easy. Boy, was I wrong. It was 495 people there, and I was the last one.
Oh wow! Wow.
And if you look at my YouTube, you'll see, that speech. Well, it wasn't even a speech. I just got up and just spoke about Second Amendment and what was real, and got a standing ovation. And one of the party heads told me, "Hey, we want you to run for city council." And I looked at him square in his eye, and I said, "You must have lost your mind. I'm not running for nobody's office. I'm going home, going to work tomorrow." And they said to come back the next month. And the Hampton City Council, I didn't know then, but now I know, most of them are Democrats. And so they found some backdoor charter reason to take it off the agenda without voting on it. And the party head approached me, said, "Hey, you want to do it now?" And I was just mad enough and stupid enough to say yes. I ran. Didn't win that one, but I ran again for delegate, and boom, I'm here. And
cool.
Fighting for 2A.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How you do that, how you did that. More people need to get involved. How do people get involved with their local politics? Their local city councils on the local level.
So what you have to do really is you got to go to your GOP. You got to find your GOP unit, because they're the people who know how to get you on a ballot. They know, they have the list, the walk list, all of that information. That's your GOP. And to be honest, if you really want to be in local politics, they're going to tell you it's independent offices, and that's nonsense. None of it's independent. There's Democrats up there and there's Republicans up there. It's independent only on a ballot. The truth of the matter is someone's backed by either Democrats or someone's backed by the Republicans. And every once in a while, 1 out of 10 times, there's a true independent, but they're only independent for 5 minutes till one of the parties grab them. So if you're conservative, you're pro-gun, you need to go find your GOP unit, get involved with them, let them know you want to run, because they're looking for people. Trust me. I'm vice chair for candidate development. All I do when I'm doing GOP stuff is trying to find someone to run for these positions. We're thirsty for people to run, and we'll help them. We'll tell them what to do. We'll walk them through it. We'll tell them how to raise money, all of the stuff. Because I didn't know none of that. Had no intention of being a politician. None. Now I teach the candidate class every year. You know, we're looking for people. If you want to get involved, find your GOP unit. They will be happy to help you.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. I'm thinking about running for Congress. I'm joking.
I'm so sorry.
So
my wife said, don't even think about it.
I actually looked into it because I know a couple of people that have run, in the primary and haven't won, but I've been friendly with them. And my congressman is Brian Mast. He was an EOD tech. He lost both his legs in the military. And he used to come by our Tea Party meetings and tell me, "Oh, I'm a gun guy. Want to go to the range with me?" I'm like, I don't have to go to the range with you. That's fine. Tony Simon.
Yeah, Tony Simon met the delegate down at Goals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and all of a sudden he gets a wealthy donor that doesn't like guns, and now he's against, gas-operated guns. He's against AR-15s.
You'll be surprised how many people turn. I have one of my local school boards. We had a person, and we fought so hard to get them on, and we got them on. We took over the school board. We were so happy, and then all of a sudden they turned on the party, and now they're hanging out with Democrats, going all to the Democrat events, and it's like, what in the world? What in the world happened? And a lot of people do that. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be me. I'd rather die cold, dead hands.
Right.
Take it out of my hands. So there ain't nothing. I mean, the gun lobby people, they just hate to see me coming. They actually nicknamed me the Hatchet because I killed all their bills one year myself. So they hate me, and I love that they hate me. If they like me, I need to do something else. I'm doing something wrong in life.
Well,
I've got to go. I want to say, Delegate Cardozo, it was great meeting you at GOA. I didn't get to spend enough time with you. And again, I'm doing the same, not spending enough time with you, but I've got a prior commitment, so I'm going to duck out.
Great talking to you. And we're gonna stay connected.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting. You know that you're doing a good job when the anti side of freedom don't like you.
Absolutely. If they like you, you're doing something wrong. So they never been in a meeting with me. So
yeah. So do you get pushback at all for being so pro-gun in the legislature?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of pushback. A lot of Democrats will come over to me and say, "Hey, I'm not really anti-gun. We have to vote for these certain bills and it's required, but I'm not anti-gun. And we just want to talk. Let's just try and make a deal. You give this, I give that." I'm like, I'm not giving nothing. It's not happening. All right.
Yeah.
And if we're going to kill your bills, then kill them. I don't care. I'm not going to give up the Constitution for a bill. Why? So I can please a donor? It's not worth it. And so being hardline on anything, people going to hate you. People are going to get a lot of pushback.
Yeah, there's always going to be pushback. Have you had anybody from like Moms Demand Action or anyone like that approach you and try to sway you?
I had that once, literally them. I had that one time. They came into my office my first year and they said, well, why could you be so pro-gun? You're an African American. Don't you know your community is getting hurt the worst? And boy, that was the worst thing they could say to me. Because when I went, I wanted them. They just got up and left. Because I said, first off, do you not know my community is the most arrested and the most oppressed and the most this and all this stuff when it comes to guns? And you want me to add another gun law to take away their rights? The people who haven't had their rights, they were done in like 3 minutes. They were running out the door, never came back. So no, they don't come anywhere near me anymore. Because they know.
If they understood the history of gun control, it all dates back to like the Reconstruction era, all the Jim Crow laws.
They don't understand that. I actually had a packet at that moment that because I was when my aide at that time told me they were coming, I said, "Ooh, get the packet," because I have the packet. I keep it on standby. I said, "Get the packet," and I started going off with it. And we actually had a situation this year come up about that. We had someone was challenging they could get us the constitutional carry, and they said, hey, even though we like concealed carry now, it was originally put in, and right before the Jim Crow era for that specific reason. And it's all over my social media right now. But one of the NAACP representatives got on and said, well, we don't like people who don't look like us saying they're defending us or some nonsense like that. And so I'm the only black delegate that's a Republican. I'm the only black legislator that's a Republican, actually. So I got up and I said, well, I'm black and I'm saying that what he's saying is the truth. That's what it's about. It's a Jim Crow era legislation. And then they basically called me a coon at that moment because I stood up for the Second Amendment. Basically, they said kinfolk ain't skinfolk, which is it's a term for saying you're Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
And
wasn't Uncle Tom the hero of the book, though?
He was, but also, they don't understand that all gun control is racist. That's where it comes from. It's all racist. And they also don't understand history, or they like a perverted history. Because let's keep it 100. They have in the Democratic Party, they have a picture of Lincoln in almost every one of them. And Lincoln has never been a Democrat ever. Never will be, never was, never would be. But they want to spin this narrative of, there was a switch. But history knows there's no switch. They hate history. History is very bad for them as a party. So they're twisted. They're twisted and they don't get it.
Yeah, they definitely are twisted and they don't get it. All you have to do is look at the history. And where I look at a lot of history from, I read a lot of case law. And in order for the Bruin test, the first is the original text of the Second Amendment. The second moves to historical analogs and stuff like that, tradition and history. If you look at every law that they always throw out there, it's always about disarming Catholics, Native Americans, Irish, Black people, people that they didn't like at the time. And that's the laws. They're standing on these racist laws to try to justify the modern laws. And a lot of courts are saying, you can't use these. These are racist laws.
Yeah,
they're discriminatory laws, and you're trying to use these as analogs. But that's what they have to stand on, because that is the root of gun control.
Mm-hmm. That's it, 100%. And they That's why they're getting their butts kicked so much, and they don't know what to do. They really don't know what to do, how to combat this, because they're like, unless we just admit that we're the racist party, we can't do anything. And I mean, I'm just waiting for the day they just say, well, we were the racist party, but it was a good idea. I'm waiting for that day. I just can't wait because it has to come, because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Yeah. I think they like to hide it, but, I don't think they've really changed that much.
No. They just changed their strategy from saying we hate N-words to, oh, let's kiss N-word babies, but still screw them over as much as we can.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is. One of their heroes, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was
Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger. She was a blatant racist, and she basically came up with the whole abortion idea to affect Black communities. She's also, was all into eugenics and a bunch of Nazi stuff, but they still celebrate her for some reason.
Oh, we know why. That award every year gets given to the people who build the most Planned Parenthoods and get the most abortions in minority neighborhoods, and no one speaks about that. All these Democrats go there and celebrate these people who are getting an award for killing as many minority babies as they can, and that's happening today. And people don't know about it. They don't realize. I don't know if they don't realize what they're doing. I don't know if they just they really drink their own Kool-Aid, but that's what they're doing. Every year they give an award out, Planned Parenthood, for that. And it's like, is this where we're at as a country? Is this okay now? It's just okay to do racist stuff? Like, I don't understand. Well, I can never understand.
But Democrats wouldn't set up an abortion ban outside the convention, would they? Oh, wait a minute. They did, didn't they?
Abort and spay and neuter as many people as they can. That is what they want to do. And take their guns away and anything to keep power.
Yeah. Kirsty wants to know, have you ever been called a white supremacist?
A couple times.
Really?
A couple times, yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. I looked and I was like, I know I didn't get darker this year in the sun, but I mean, I didn't think I was ever, I didn't think I ever got that light. I'm kind of on the darker end of the spectrum, so no, it's crazy. If you don't agree with them, you're white supremacist. If you don't agree with them, you're everything they can call you under the sun, but they're the tolerant side of the political spectrum.
Tolerant unless it comes to ideas, then
oh yeah,
not so tolerant.
You can't be a Black man with ideas. We don't allow that. Like, it's almost like a Black person who can read, Oh, sorry, that's the older part of their party.
Well, didn't Hochul say that some Black people have never heard of the word computer? Kathy Hochul in New York. Did you ever see that?
No, that's news to me. But I mean, it doesn't shock me.
Yeah,
because I mean, hey, if you gotta make a decision between Biden and Trump, you can't be Black, right?
Oh, didn't Biden say that? Yeah, that's why he said that on the Breakfast Club, I think it was. Vulcan Rumble has a question. Are you allowed to chair a committee in your state? In Massachusetts, there are rules where no member of the Republican Party can chair a committee.
When we're in power, is there official rule? Probably not. But when whoever party is in power, that's who chairs all committees, unless it's a 50-50 split. If it's 50-50 split, like it's 50% of the House each way, then you'll get 50-50, half of them will be chaired by Republicans, half will be chaired by Democrats. But generally, politically speaking, when whoever's in power, they chair everything. Because that's where the real power is of being in a majority. You get to decide what bills actually get heard, because a lot of most bills don't get heard at all. It's just not even coming up.
Yeah,
nobody's voting on it. And the chair decides. The speaker decides.
Yeah. Virginia, one of the things I like to point out why it's so important to vote in Virginia is it's so close. It's like a razor thin margin. And both, not only the Senate, but the House of Delegates as well. It's like a 1% swing or whatever.
Yeah, it's basically it. So it's 51-49 in the House and 21-19 in the Senate.
So it's very,
right
very,
yeah.
so it's very, very close. So
Very close.
and it have a tendency to go back and forth a little bit. Hopefully, it will. It will go back and forth. So, what is your top priority? We got about 5 minutes left. What's your top priority that you would like to get done for Virginia?
What I would love to get done, my top priority is constitutional carry. I want constitutional carry in the state because you got to remember we're the most northern free state that's left. Maryland, forget about it. They're super anti-gun. DC, we all know DC cannot stand guns. They got their butts whipped by Heller, thank God, but they can't stand guns. We're it for freedom, we're the line. I want that line to be stronger. I want to get us constitutional carry, and I'm really hoping one day that we get the Hughes Amendment repealed, but that's probably in the next 20 years.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Hughes Amendment go away.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my dream. I'd like to see the whole NFA go away, but especially the Hughes Amendment.
Yeah. I don't think the NFA is going to go away. I think the NFA is going to be the standard. I think it's going to be like suppressors is though now. I think it's going to be, they're going to make it to Swift quick so that they see that they're losing so much ground. They're trying to get things that they can get off the target list. So if they make the NFA real easy, it's easy, it's electronic, you just do this, it's just a background check, that it'll get left alone. And the Hughes Amendment is the only thing really stopping that from happening.
Yeah, I think I do think that the NFA is going to be watered down. I think the Hughes Amendment is going to be the last standing part of the NFA to me. So I can see SPRs, silencers, and SBSs getting removed. Maybe AOWs then, and machine guns are going to be the only two things left. The Hughes Amendment, I see maybe that'll be knocked down, but machine guns is going to be the
forever
hard thing to get off there.
Mm-hmm.
There's some carve outs that the Supreme Court did for machine guns and stuff like that. So who knows though? There was a case where a judge ruled that machine guns are protected arms, and that was in a criminal case though. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be definitely interesting.
It's a long fight.
Yeah. Doug brings up a good point. Virginia is very red. Besides in concentrated blue areas, like where I live at, is a very blue area, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I have a majority minority city, super blue. I have Hampton, Poquoson, and York County. Hampton's blue, Poquoson is ruby red, and York County is like flips back and forth, but mostly red. And so I have a unique district where I hear everything from every angle because I have everything at every angle. But really 757, you get to the major cities. Norfolk's blue, Hampton's blue, Newport News is blue, Portsmouth is blue. That's pretty much it. Virginia Beach is red, kind of pinkish. We got to work on it, keep it red. But Virginia Beach is red, Chesapeake is red, Suffolk is red. That is, and then you go anywhere to the west, it's all red. And that's our state. We're mostly red, but we just have these highly populated, super blue areas.
Yeah, I live in Northern Virginia.
I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna add you to my prayer list.
Which is so blue that it's a navy blue.
You gotta wear blue filter light glasses when you walk up there.
Yeah. I have hope, but we're about 70% blue, about 30% Republican.
Well, y'all move on down here to Hampton Road so we can. They just let them have that part. Move on down here.
I'm not willing to secede any part. I will stay up there and fight.
I understand.
For our rights. Well, All right. Well, we're about to end the show here, but I want to thank you for coming on and tell everyone where they can find you.
Well, no, thank you so much for having me. And you can find me at www.cordozaforvirginia.com. Any way you say it or put it in, it's gonna work. And just you can find me on all socials, pretty much: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. We're everywhere. So any way you put in Cordoza for Hampton or Cordoza for Virginia, we're there. Check out our YouTube, come subscribe, send me a letter. We're all around. So I just look forward to hearing from you. And if I can serve you in any way as your representative, we're at 102 Pratt Street in Fort Monroe. We're here for you.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. And we got to get you up here to go shooting at XCal. It's a really nice place.
Hey, I will be there. I can bring my own gun, right?
You can bring whatever. They have machine guns there that you can just rent machine guns.
Ooh.
You can rent an RPG.
Ooh, you just messed up my wallet.
They got a Gatling gun.
I shot my first machine gun really, besides the military, like really got to shoot it at the GOA range day, and it was amazing.
Well, we'll have to change that. We'll have to get you to shoot a few more.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
I got a friend who's an SOT, and he has the MP5 briefcase gun.
Wow.
That's like a MP5, but it's built into a briefcase, so you triggers on the handle.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
All right. Maybe I can own one day when we get the Hughes Amendment down.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, guys, that is it. We don't have a show tomorrow. I got a back to school night, but we will be back on Thursday with Luis Valdez, and we have some really great guests coming up next week too. So with that, we are out of here. I will see